Where am I going to find that? How
That's
am I going to
fire.
find that? How would I know? Unless that person sat there in front of you and said, "Hey, yo, did you know that I do this, that, and the third?" Go ahead, Richie, go open us up.
I like how he does. He always does that, man. Like he's already pressed play, but he wants me to still give an intro
Of course.
because it's like so it's like never really a proper intro. But
No,
what's up,
of course.
everybody? This is your boy Richard
See, you learned
Picasso.
from me.
I'm here again with the one and only G. Out of
I
character.
wasn't leaving.
What's
He
up?
asked me to leave. I said no.
Well, okay, can you leave then?
I'll leave right now.
All right. Anyway, well, we can't leave yet. We have a very special guest here.
Talk to him. Introduce this man.
This is the one and only Internal Rhyme,
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
straight out of the Philadelphia, PA.
Yup.
You know, from the land of Little Dickies and Asher Ross and Meek Mills. And, you know,
All the
got
above.
got amazing records. I was just here and Run It Up.
Yup.
You know, got no reservations. So you already know. You know, Philly's always had a soft spot for me. I got family out in Philly. You know, and we're fortunate. We're very fortunate that this man took 2 hours of his driving time to come all the way here.
That's what I'm talking about. That's some dedication.
That's
though.
dedication. That's why we were in mind. It's like, because when I told him, like, oh, I got my boy, he coming from Philly. He's like, you coming from Philly? Like, 2 hours, man. It's like, but that's dedication. Like,
I won't lie though. I would take opportunity to be on, like, if I really like the pod or really want to go sit with people, or hell yeah, like, they say one of the best advantages we have living on the East Coast is that if you're an entertainer, there's always somewhere to be.
Yeah.
You can go to Philly, you can go to Jersey, you can go any of the five boroughs. There's always an open mic, there's always a comedy set. There's always something that can be filled. And nothing's more than what? An hour and a half away. He drove too, but really think about it, that's not that bad.
No,
You know what I
it's
mean?
not.
That's
Yeah.
not that bad. It's not like you. That would have been 4 hours with traffic. So the fact it's on a Sunday, you know what I mean? Quick and easy.
Yeah, no, I was pleasantly surprised. I do appreciate the shout out for it. But no, really, like it was really easy. I was just telling these guys I just moved back, so one, I like kind of forgot what it
Move
felt
back
like
from
to-
where?
Moved back from LA. Yeah, important detail, right? Moved back from LA, so I was in LA for 3 years. So two things about that. Like one, I forgot how long it actually takes from Philly to New York, which like that was pretty easy. And then two, living in LA, you just fucking sorry, you're just driving everywhere. So naturally, you just
Everything's
kinda
far from each other over there, right?
yeah, and it's just I mean, one, I don't think the traffic's quite as bad as people say. Like, I mean, you guys live in New York, so
Well, they say there's nothing like LA traffic.
yeah, it's bad though. It's definitely
What they call it,
one
the
of
404? What is that over there?
405.
It's
Yeah.
405? They say you
Yeah,
be on that
that's
shit
rough.
for hours.
Yeah, and it's like 6 lanes, I think, too, but it's still.
How do you got 6 lanes of
Yeah.
traffic?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, Cat? That's because all y'all niggas is high in the car.
That's definitely it.
You guys have had marijuana. They've had marijuana legal over there for fucking years. What, since 92?
Yeah, yeah, I think you're right.
Like-
Since
like
90 something.
90 something, they've had marijuana legal over there.
But I learned when I went out there. So when I went out to visit before I moved out there is when they actually went recreational, because it was like medicinal since 90 whatever. So it was basically legal anyway. But then what's interesting is when they went recreational, all of the previous shops were like out of compliance. So now only like a third of them are actually legal. But
Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, you've heard about this, yeah.
Well, the thing is that since it's become, the government is so smart because it's not state legal, right? It's not federally legal.
Not federally.
It's
yeah,
not federally legal. It's by state, right?
Yes.
And in order for it to be legal, and in order for your product to be legal, it has to go through checks and balances. That checks and balance process plus the application are running growers anywhere between $50,000 to $250,000 to test all their marijuana. So now you made this product, you got to take the time and money to get it tested, right? And that's time. See, it's a flower. At the end of the day, it's like everything else. It's not going to have the same flavor, impact, hit if I got to wait 2 to 3 months to get a test, to get a license, right? And on top of that, the money. So now when you buy a car, when you buy a car on the lot, the car is 100 grand. When you drove it off the lot, it's 60, right?
Mm-hmm.
When that car was made in 2015, and I'm driving it off in 2020, it's automatically worth 50. So you got these growers that have to go through these checks and balances, and it's unfortunate that if they're off on any one little thing, they have to resubmit.
Mm.
So you know what these dudes said? They went smart on them. I've seen Murder. You see Murder Mountain, right, on Netflix?
Nah, I heard.
All right,
Oh, Murder Mountain.
basically, basically it's just these people protecting what they have. Look, I got land. Whatever I grow on my land is mine. Whatever they do illegally to sell and all this shit, go catch them there. But what the government's doing now is trying to run up on these people's lands.
They use like eminent domain, like, oh, it's a federal government land, you can't
And you
do
know
nothing.
no, not even that. It's their land. They own the land. But the government's saying you're growing illegal marijuana. All right, you're one person. Why you got 150 plants? So the government's looking at you like you must be selling. So before you sell, they're going ahead and hitting your pockets. They take your whole shit. They take your pockets. You know how much the fine is in New York if you get caught like selling weed in a shop and all that shit? It's $500. But they take your whole stash. And then they charge you for tax evasion based upon how much they took from the stash.
Because before you couldn't claim like marijuana as
You
like
can't do it now.
business. You still can?
You can't right now. Marijuana growers keep their money in a safe in the
Yeah,
building,
and they pay in cash.
but you still have to pay taxes
Yes.
and show how much you make.
It's
If that's
weird.
off by this much,
That's
if
why I
that,
never
you're getting
got it.
audited and you're fucked.
Yeah, too much.
You know what I'm saying? That's why the game. That's why the game now. They're smart. The government got smart on them. But
And
yeah, go.
No, that's why the black market will succeed still. 'cause-
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
What they call it, block work. They even had to give it a name. They call it block
I
work.
didn't know that.
No, that's what when you buy an eighth off of somebody in the streets, it's called block work.
Oh wow, damn.
Yeah. Unless you buy it in a fucking, unless you buy it in a smoke shop or something
Or
like
dispensary
that,
type.
or these companies like you know, I work for City Trees, you know, like unless you buy one for one of these companies, considerably, they call it all block work, bro.
I kind of like that block work. I like
That's a song. That's a song right there.
Right? Block work.
I'd rather smoke my block work.
So clockwork called block work. We on the corner doing block work.
What's the biggest difference you've seen? Philly to Cali. What's the?
I mean, besides the weather, obviously, which
Yeah.
is like big, coming back in. I just got back in the end of December.
It's like 80 degrees every day over there, right?
Yeah, or like 70s. But and right now it's cold and it's
How the women?
55.
How's the women?
The women. So I've been wiped up the whole time I was in Cali.
Listen,
But,
that's a disclaimer. I'm just
disclaimer,
asking him.
I'm just asking. We're not trying to get not trying to get him in trouble here.
But yeah, had I not been, yeah, like I don't know, like it's just, yeah, I think people care about their body more in LA too. You know?
Oh yeah, everybody wants that
not
LA
to
body.
mention, half of it is fake, but like, but there's also like the real. I feel like there's like the real people of LA, right? People that just like grew up there and like have a normal job, and then there's like LA, flashy.
Did they accept you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it easily accepting? Like, did you feel comfortable in at home?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it that was, I guess, another difference is definitely just hyper competitive because everyone's like moving out there. Like some people are from there, but most people moved out there to follow a similar dream, and everybody's going to the same event.
Really?
Hollywood life,
Yeah.
the music life, everything.
Yeah.
That's still. Like I know that was the thing. Like back in the days, you go to California to make it pop, right? But I thought like maybe from living in California, their children would have been the ones to be the ones, native to California to try to make it pop. But people still go over there to make it pop.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a mix. I met a lot of people. I met more people than I thought that did grow up there.
How much
but-
can you get a kilo for? How do you play?
Yeah, no, but yeah, a lot of people I met, moved out there, the same thing. But at the same, when you ask that question, it reminds me that a thing I learned moving out there is like, I don't think LA is the same it was 20 years ago. I mean, it's not. It's not the same it was like for the music scene, for Hollywood, for anything. Just because the world expanded and other cities grew and places like New York and Philly, actually like moving to LA reminded me how dope cities like New York and Philly were. When I still saw a lot of folks working back home and like doing really cool events. And not that there wasn't a bunch of cool shit to do out there too. But it gave me appreciation. It was like, damn, like, yeah,
You made any dope like connections out there? Like any like big name people you met or like did
yeah.
collabs
So
with?
not as a few, not as many as the like typical story. I feel like is the coolest one, especially right now, just timing wise, is I actually got to like spend a night with Gangsta Boo one time.
Word?
Yeah,
That's
Rest in
dope.
peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. So, and it was crazy how it was actually on a podcast, and it was I think that was the last podcast I did. And shout out to Cushion Chemtrails, that's the podcast name. So basically, it's this guy Emmett who was her boyfriend up until her passing. I don't know how long they were together. But basically, he reached out to me. They just did a hip hop and like conspiracy podcast, and they told me to come through. I came up, and I had no idea. Like I knew who Gangsta Boo was, but I definitely couldn't
Didn't- yeah.
recognize her from
Of
just
course
seeing
not.
her. Yeah, so we're like all chill. There, similarly, like I pull up and they were finishing the last episode with they were filming back to back. So I'm just kind of chilling outside for a minute. I go inside. There's like 10 people, and then I hear the guy Emmett, his son was there too, who's like around my age, and he was saying something about Gangsta Boo, and I just whatever he said, like I could tell he meant she was in the room, and I like paused him, and I was like, wait, what did you just say? Like who's here? And he was like, yeah, no, that's like my dad's girl. That's like family. So
Wow.
yeah, like she
Small
was just there.
world.
Yeah, so I got to chop it up with her for a minute. Hilariously, me and Richie were just talking about my man Kosha Dills because he knows everybody.
Shout out to
That-
Christian Dills.
And that was part of me and Gangsta Boo's conversation because they did a song together, or they did 2 songs together, I think.
Yes, and I think he actually the day that he unfortunately passed, I think he was showing like a video that they both did together.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was in LA or somewhere else, but it was like she was wearing like a spacesuit or something.
Right. Yeah, I saw that.
So I
Yeah.
thought that was cool.
Yeah. So that was definitely like the closest experience because again, we talked a little bit. We didn't talk the whole night, but again, we were all kind of chilling in the same room. So
Yeah,
that
you're
was
not really looking. You're looking to hang out. It's not all
Yeah.
no business sense.
for sure. And what was cool is that I was there to I was there to kind of be the spotlight for a little bit because I was getting interviewed on
Yeah,
the
you were
podcast.
potting.
So yeah, I didn't really have to like, try to show myself off too much. It was just like, yeah, nice to meet you. Like, that's crazy. I know you did a song with my man Coach Dills. Obviously I heard your music before.
Ain't it crazy when you can meet somebody that got numbers or doing something and they're actually like a person? Like
real.
I had Vinny Idol. I had Vinny Idol in my crib. Really, right? Really, right? So amazing that my girlfriend has a friend who's dating, who's in a relationship with Vinny Idol. And 2 hours go by in my apartment. I was fucking talking anyway. And I'm showing the nigga my studio. I got a little bullshit studio. I got like a $4,000 studio, And come outside, and Shorty's like, "All your studio's nice." Wow, my boyfriend has a studio in the house too. It's in the basement. It just takes up so much space. I was like, "Oh yeah, he makes music." She was like, "Yeah, he makes music." His name, and he's been in my house for 2 hours. We just met each other and shit, but it went over my head when he gave me his name, because niggas give you their name. He's like, "Hey, what's up?"
Like, hey,
Whatever. But you go, and she's like, "Yeah, he works with Jadakiss Styles P." I was like, "What's his name?" She was like, "Vinny Idol." I was like, "Vinny Idol, Vinny Idol?" She was like, I said, "In my house?" She's like, "Yeah." I said, "Is Vinny Idol?" She's like, "Yeah." Yo, it took me another 45. I was like, "Yo, good looking for the music you done." Because I can't be a groupie. I'm not a groupie.
Can't be
But at the same time, that's what I felt inside. And then I did the trick on my man's, because my man came over an hour later, and he's a music producer. So this is his shit, right? And we sitting there for like 40 minutes, and I look at him, I said, "Yo," we're all watching the UFC fights, and I said, "Yo, son, you know Vinny Idol?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Yo, that's Vinny Idol." He was like, "Where?" I said, "Right there on the couch." He said, "No, it's not." I said, "Yeah, nigga, that's Vinny Idol." He was like, "Yo, son." It feels so good to be, when you meet these people and they're humbled. They can have all these numbers, have this money, have this glitz, this glam around them and everything, but they're still a person.
Yep.
And they're showing you that. My stepbrother met Ben Stiller in the city walking. He said he's the biggest dick you've ever met. Biggest dick you've ever met. My brother just tried to say, "Thank you for your movies." And he was like, "Don't fucking talk to me."
You said like
Don't fucking talk to me.
Nah, Ben
Wow.
Don't
Stiller.
fucking talk to
Ben
me.
Stiller.
Don't
Aw.
fucking talk to me.
That's
And my brother couldn't understand. Like, fuck. He was like, don't fucking talk to me.
damn, not even like a bad thank you. Like no,
Nope.
thank you. Like,
Nope. But look, we just had a convo about what Joyner did to you, nigga. Like, don't meet your fucking heroes.
Don't meet Jordan Lucas. That's all. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
You know, I can, and we don't, you know, if you guys already talked about it, we don't need to tell the whole story if you don't want, but I'm not surprised somehow. I feel like Joyner Lucas, and, you know, respect from all I know to Joyner Lucas, but that feels like it's not surprising.
Nah, I mean,
He's a great artist. I'll never knock
nah,
his
you know,
music.
Insanely
but it's
talented, yeah.
this.
It's
It's
a
unfortunate.
person.
It's the
No.
hip hop shit, though. It's the hip hop shit, bro.
I just wanted to yo-yo for him, and he
He wanted to
didn't want me
yo-yo for him. He wanted to yo-yo for him, and he yo-yoed for him, and the dude didn't even give him no mind.
He didn't even look at me. I did so many. That was the greatest trick. Look, how many times did I say this story? Shit makes me mad.
But you know the shit is
Yeah.
too. Look, what I do realize though, it's like it's like a triple edge. It's like a Trinity blade, because don't it suck when niggas be like, "Oh, you rap freestyle?
Yeah.
Oh, you rap? Let me hear something." Fuck you talking about? You don't ask an actor to act. Nobody act. Yo, act.
Facts,
It's like
right?
when people ask me to yo-yo, do a trick, do walk the dog.
But you do it though.
There's a difference. Whoever's asking me.
Yo,
I thought I can't do with this yo-yo because it's on the concrete. and
sometimes
fuck
I
my
be
shit up.
looking at you like, don't do that shit for him.
It's that whole dance monkey dance bullshit that I hate.
But we're entertainers. It's what we do, and you know what? The light at the end of the fucking rainbow is actually getting paid for the dance monkey dance. That's the light at the end of the rainbow, because we ain't gonna be complaining when it's $200,000, $100,000, $40,000. Beyonce, they were making fun of Cardi B, cause she did a whack ass show in Dubai. She was like, they paid me $1 million for 10 minutes. Shut up. Right?
They're giving Beyonce $24 million.
At that point, you can't even bitch.
Yeah.
So your music, where it come from? Why you decided to make it? Why you decided to pick up a pen?
What's the origins?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So, basically, the story of how I started really young. So I'm old now. Well, we're
We're
not young.
Stop
So-
that.
We're like millennials.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You
So,
know.
but like for young music, right? I'm older now, but I'm in my late 20s. I'm 28 now. But I started really young. I was 11 when I started writing. Basically, it was a couple things that went into it. One, I got into rap when I was like 7. I had this babysitter.
Said 7. What artist?
Yeah, it
What
was-
song?
it-
What
it
song?
was- It was classically Eminem, which
What song?
no, it was like the real Slim Shady. I think.
No, because I relate to that. I found hip hop at 7, 8, and mine was Super Thug Noriega. What?
That's fire. That's fire. You know.
Hey, Eminem would have been better to find though.
Yeah, and I only say that with a shrug because it feels so like cliche to say now. But I mean, obviously, you know,
Not
I'll
really,
respect
man.
Eminem.
Because when you think about, you can't emulate a 50 unless you're a gangster. You can't emulate a lot of our, Jadakiss or the Locks, a lot of the ones we grew up with, kind of like it's a Biggie. You can't emulate. But unfortunately, but fortunately, his style of rap was so absorbent. You hear him and you feel it. You take it in. Now, when you get 10 years older and you decide to start rapping, you can't help but sometimes you can. Yeah, this is part of your. It's in your tool bag because
sure.
he's easier. He's a lot easier, not to say to be like him, but it's a lot easier to correlate with things that you're going through in your life than acting like I want to shoot somebody.
Yeah,
I remember
facts.
hip hop is a gangster shit. Most of us aren't gangster though. We don't sell drugs. We don't fucking pimp hoes. We don't like hip hop is gangster shit.
We don't slap bitches. and-
But Eminem shit where he's saying "fuck you, mom," and I take drugs, and I gave this bitch mushrooms at a party, and she was talking to a plant. We been there.
Yeah,
it's relatable.
We been there.
It's very relatable.
yeah. So the story is that I had this babysitter who had kids of her own. So her daughter was like 16, 17, listening to Eminem in the house. That's how I started hearing it. I started liking it from like 7 to 10, 11. I just started digging into
Bad
hip-hop,
babysitter right
which-
there, bumping.
I'm thankful for it. And
know.
then so my branch. similar to what you were saying. Like I went from M, I started digging into 50. I love G Unit. I really started digging into Pac too. Pac is like still.
They
one
don't
of
know
my-
Pac nowadays.
No, and not.
They don't
yeah,
understand.
Not to the same degree.
Nah.
Yeah.
You would have to actually go to like 1994, 1995 and see what Rodney King and what the times were and realize what people were going through, why you got a Pac.
Yeah, and I mean, and you saying that makes me realize that the timeless thing about Pac too is that someone like myself goes back now and listens to it and understands so much more.
Do you
than,
do you do your homework?
Yeah, and like when I was young, I did because I was growing up in the '90s, but I was really young in the '90s, so I didn't understand the social connection of what was really happening.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that there was oppression, I understood that general concept. But now I learn about a little more about stories that were going on, a little more about
It was
Pac's
black and white
legal
to be
battle.
cliche.
Yeah, exactly. And like so, right? You could start by understanding that. That's the beauty of hip hop, though. It can bring you in with something as simple as that, right? You understand power dynamics, oppression, stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then but yeah, that's the beauty of someone like Pac is I go back, every year when I listen, and like it means something different because I understand a little more.
I will agree with you. I bump Tupac's albums at least once a year where I get into this little mode where you have any of that? You have that once a year, an artist that you don't listen to often and shit, but you remember what it did for you when he did it for you, and you just need to go back to it and hear it right now.
I just recently did that with the Doctor's Advocate with the game.
Nice.
It's like it was like the album where he was trying to break away from being like Dre's underling and break away from G Unit. He wanted to prove that he could do it himself. So he went from being part of the Aftermath to just being on Geffen Records, like the sister label. Sold 339,000 copies first week. Was number one.
I didn't know that though. That's crazy.
It was crazy, and then like I'm hearing it because I never got a chance to like fully sit down and digest it. Only just like from the hits, like when he had like "Wouldn't Get Far" with Kanye West, and the "One Blood."
Yeah.
That song. I was like, let me really sit down and hear this. Like I heard it here and there, but then like I actually got this like hear from point A to point B. I'm like, oh, this was actually a really good album.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I
like,
believe that.
was it better than the documentary? No, but compared to all his albums after the Doctor's Advocate, this is like number two for me.
Not a lot of people. Now, it's hard to one up what you did great to begin with.
Yeah.
It's,
all about
it's,
truth.
it's fucking hard sometimes, man. Like when you did something fucking great or awesome, you hit that album.
I know that feeling. I've had 4 albums, and everybody always talks about my second album as being my best one. And
You
it's like,
still get that too?
I still get that too. That I dropped that in 2018, and people still talk about it.
That's
Like
frustrating.
I was like, that's why I did my third to beat that, and then I did my fourth to try to beat that, and then it's like, oh,
Well,
that song on the second one was fire.
maybe that's where we're messing up though. We shouldn't make it to beat it. We shouldn't even make it to match it. We should make it to just stand alone. Stand alone so people can't compare them in a rank. Stand alone so people be like, nah, it was just something different. I can't even say it's his best one. It was just his most different. That's why when I hear like Lil Wayne put out the fucking rock and roll shit, or you hear Jay-Z with the Linkin Park, or you hear Kanye with the 808s, right? Or you hear Drake with everything. Like when you hear them, there's a reason for it. The reason they want to hit all these avenues is because it's like, I don't want to just be held back by just which one is my best. Go figure it out. There's a whole fucking catalog. Go figure it out which one's my best. How can you call it when I'm like the best at everything? That's as an entertainer. Denzel what? Turned 78?
He's at 68.
68?
Oh my god.
Right? Right? Think about what Denzel's done for us.
Yup. Yes.
The Equalizer, Training Day, Devil in the Blue Dress.
John Q.
John Q.
John Q. The Philadelphia movie.
Above-
Philadelphia.
Above the what was that movie? The basketball Ray Allen. What was that shit?
Coach Carter.
No, that wasn't Coach Carter.
He was Coach Carter, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't Coach Carter.
No. What basketball movie?
The one we did with Ray Allen.
I don't remember that one though.
I remember. He just said
It's gonna
just-
hit me, and I'm gonna. Be
It just
mad.
sucks that
That's gonna-
You know, we're gonna watch these niggas die one day, right?
That's crazy.
Yo, there's no other Denzel.
There is no other Denzel, man.
You ain't gonna find another Denzel.
Yo, we really.
Oh,
do.
he got game. That was it.
He got game.
Yeah, I never saw him. But yeah, no, Denzel's like. God, give him his flowers, man. I'm glad you said that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad we have a second to appreciate it in this.
Yeah, I
moment.
know.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite actor?
I think by default, and it's not just because.
by default. Talk to him.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I say by default because I thought about it recently, and I was just like, I don't know, man. Who would I like more? I think it's Will Smith.
He likes slapping Chris's.
That's a bar right there for sure.
Yeah, right. And it's not just because of the Philly thing is a little cherry on top. You know, that's awesome. But
And you hometown Philly, right?
yeah, well, nah, I won't front. I'm from like right outside of Philly. I'm from Cheltenham originally.
Cheltenham.
So it's from it's in the bio I sent Richie. It's from where like Lil Dicky is from and shit.
What
so.
what do you mean? It's not in Philly?
Yeah, it's just like the first town outside of Philly.
Yeah.
So
where is it?
It's called Cheltenham.
It's called Cheltenham,
It's like
Pennsylvania.
so if you
Oh, so it's actually PA.
yeah.
It's still
So-
PA. It's in PA.
Yeah, so Broad Street runs from the top of Philly to the bottom, and if you take Broad Street all the way to the top, it intersects with Cheltenham Ave, and that's Cheltenham. So it's like the first suburb when you leave Philly.
Oh no,
Like
fuck
like
that.
I have family in Philly, but I also have family like in Allentown.
Yeah, not it. Yeah, so Cheltenham's closer.
But
than
is it that
but-
much different?
Nah. I mean, it's safer. But it's you. I think it was a beautiful place to grow up because it was, you had access to everything in the city. But you know, it was a safer place to raise.
When you say
kids.
everything, like what?
I mean, it was just so close. Like literally, right again. Like Broad Street was, 5 minutes for me. But then even Center City, there was like a train in my neighborhood that could get you to. Center
Oh, really?
City
Oh,
in
it was
the middle of
that
everything.
accessible.
Yeah. So yeah, it was. I'm grateful that my mom was intentional about raising me there. Because I think for her, I don't think she was. For her, it was really important to get out of the city. But
She's a New Yorker. Your parents are New Yorkers.
nah, my like my grandparents and then aunts and uncles. But my mom's actually mostly been in Philly her life. She actually also spent some time in LA when she was like around my age. So it's this funny parallel.
Oh,
have.
really? So yeah, really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, but when she was having me, she wanted to get out of the city, but she didn't make it too far out, so she made it right
There.
out of the city. So yeah, I'm grateful for where I grew up because again, to me, it was like this really nice middle ground where it was safe, but it wasn't sheltered. Like there were.
What kind of bullshit you get into?
I mean, just like typical shit, but not like. I guess like I wasn't much a fighter, but my friends definitely got into.
They love that rough, rowdy shit out
Yeah,
there, right?
yeah. And we would my friends were really, especially because I was always a small guy. When I made my friends, they were really bent on teaching me how to fight. Something I was thinking about recently, and I'm like grateful that I never really had to fight a lot. But they always, so we would be like boxing and shit, and then they got into MMA, and one or two of them like joined an MMA gym when we were teenagers. So we'd be like sparring
That's
in the
dope.
basements, yeah. But in general, I was always like a pretty good kid, honestly.
Makes me laugh. You tell Sam, yo, son, you know how to do MMA now, but you remember that time we fought in the garage? I knocked you the fuck out. Don't play with me.
No, I remember one time. See, again, like I never got a black eye from really getting socked, but I got a black eye from a boxing
Playing around.
glove getting socked.
Yeah.
So
You know what it
again,
feels like.
Yeah, at least somewhat.
And it's better not. It's better to have known what it feels like than not, man.
Facts. Yeah, no, I was thinking about that. You know what was crazy? I think I was thinking about that on the ride up here when I was listening to y'all because I was listening to the most recent one when you guys had to kill the roach. That was
Oh
that
yeah,
episode.
it was
But
fucking
in
gross,
that
yeah.
in that podcast, Gil, I think it was you said something about like, it's important for a man to like know how to fight, but not necessarily fight.
Yeah.
That was you guys were just
You got to know how to defend yourself.
Right. So that made me think. That made me think about that on the ride up here. That I was like, yo, I'm kind of grateful that like people kind of took me under their wing like that and taught me how to fight. But I'm grateful, man. Like I
Nah, you
got
know,
into a lot of bullshit.
Everything with life is like yes, the most experienced people, the people that experience it and do it, those are the masters. Those are the masters. The guy that goes out fishing every day and catches the fish, those are the masters.
Yeah.
The guy that boxes every day, those are the masters.
Yeah, this
But
is-
yet, you still have to. There's a level of needing to knowing you can do something, especially as a man. I've always been taught, and I hate it, but I've always been taught, you're the first line of defense when it comes to your family.
It's true though.
Like you know, you're the first line when the cops come, when the gangsters come, when the bills come, when this comes, another anything that comes, when somebody in your house is going through something, anything that comes is gonna come through you first. You're the first line of defense. You know what I'm saying? So you have to know how to act accordingly. If we're starving and we got a line and a stick, one of us got to know how to catch a fish. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to know, and even if watch YouTube. Even if you watch a YouTube video a million times and don't actually do the action, at least you won't sit there with your pants down when it comes time to get down to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've only learned half the shit I've learned because of watching some. Don't mean I need to do it. I mean, I don't need to choke somebody out. I don't need to punch somebody in the face. But I know when you got that crazy look in your eye, I'm going to have to because you're going to punch me in the face first. And I don't want to get punched in the face. You know what I'm saying? It's simple as that.
Yeah.
This is, like, for me, I would prefer to know something than not know something.
Yeah, facts. Yo, and you saying that makes it. I remember that I wouldn't have thought about this, but a funny memory I have is not only getting a black eye with a boxing glove. Is one time my boy choked me out, and I literally like
Passed
out, dropped to the floor. So and that taught me what it felt like to be choked out. And it was like he felt really bad about it because he did not mean to make me pass out. He was like just trying to be a dick, and again, my friends were trying.
But
to
you
teach me how to
don't
fight.
think you're gonna pass out either.
He like came up from behind me, put me in a chokehold, and he was like, after a minute, I was struggling. I started tapping out, and he was like, "No, you can't tap out. Get out of it." And I was like, "Bro, let go of me, let go of me." And then I tried, and then I really passed out, and he was like, "Oh shit!" And I woke up after a couple seconds, but
you know what to do next time, right?
Now it's been a while. I remember something about
I'm like balls, bro. Balls,
yeah.
bro.
I was
balls,
about to go like you
balls.
do like 2 fingers.
Nah, fuck all that extra
No,
shit.
that stupid video.
You saw that recently, right?
Like that woman, like
Mine.
first thing you're gonna do is
fuck that.
is to put your 2 fingers through your neck. You're gonna be dead.
Yeah, I saw
So
that.
quickly.
I saw someone stitch that and then just
Yeah.
You go straight.
Killing
Nah,
you.
for real. Like when
Yeah.
somebody
No, you're
chokes you
right.
this way,
Yeah.
if they're dumb enough to lift you up in the air, because that's what most people want to do. They want to lift you up. Easy. Fucking you bend that knee and you hit them right there. Anywhere you hit is gonna hurt. And if they don't have a secure lock like this, just keep moving your neck. I broke my cousin's nose.
Oh,
She's like 3 years older than me, but she's like 6'4", big bitch. Yo, she came behind me and did one of those fucking headlock shits, yo. And I broke her nose in the fucking in the doctor's office. Cause she was sitting there like this and she laughing. I'm like, oh, and she's like, and I just fucking bow. And I knew her nose was broken. I knew her nose was broken.
No, serious. Look at that. He
I
going
knew her
off
nose
right
was
now.
broken. I hit that shit 4 more times. Just fuck it. You ain't fucking bitch. You want to put me in a headlock.
Like I ain't dying day in his office.
Oh man, yeah. At least you're at the doctor. All
I
right.
don't know. I remember.
Shit.
I remember the first time just getting punched in the head. Well, pretty much my face. It was like right here, and the first thing I see is white. Like
Oh, yeah, that's usually what happens.
that was like, and it was like, and then you hear it sound like.
And that noise you hear when you
It's
get
like-
hit, that noise you hear sounds
Yup.
like a clocking. It's just, you're like, whoa.
And I just saw my body didn't want to move. It just kept falling. It was like.
Ah! Does any of your music reflect on your past? What you've been through?
Yeah, and you know what's funny is like lately I've been thinking about. I think I need to tell stories a little more.
Talk to him.
Yeah, I think sometimes I'm reluctant to tell story. It's not even like a conscious thing, but I guess I don't know what it is. Like I've always I always like
Try to be aware.
yeah, you know what? That
And we're not old enough yet to be talking about other people. Sometimes, like, people are part of our story. So when you're saying something, you might say something that somebody's part of your story might not agree with.
you're exactly right, and that's part of the biggest struggle about artistry, right? And that's something we all do, right? That's something that you sign up for. But you're right, like it gets kind of complicated as you get older, but at the same time, sometimes and lately especially I have been thinking to myself, I think that's an example where I got to take a little more risk sometime. I'm not talking about, digging the deepest family skeletons out of my closet,
You
obviously.
say F it in a really nice way.
Yeah.
That's what you trying to say, like, yo,
Yeah.
F it. Like, yo,
Yeah,
F it.
exactly,
Like,
though. No, exactly. Like, and yeah, like, I just respect that, right? Like,
Thank you.
bless you. Yeah, my
Thank you,
my
thank you.
favorite songs, I've come to realize time and time again, are ones where you
They're
take a
being-
little risk, or you
Yup.
talk about something real, and
Yup.
and people have reflected that to me. Those times that I do step over the line a little more, people appreciate it, and not that it's only for other people, but that mix of like giving a little more raw of your story, people hear it, they appreciate it.
that for me for me that's isn't that the like the foundation of hip hop? Like, yes, I know it comes from blues and jazz and Curtis Blow. Like I know. There's certain little things that had certain little strings that had to be pulled, but ultimately it came from people truly speaking about what they feel. Yo, we ain't all singers. We can't all be here and sit and we can't all sit here and do that. Some of us only have the talent of expressing it through voice. And then they mixed in a formula of a beat behind our voice. And they said, go figure out a way to talk to these people where they can hear you with the beat. You know what that's called? Melody. So now we take our pain and our passion and we throw it on a melody and it becomes something more. It's really hard to take away cringy stuff if you don't go ahead and like, if the person's not being like exploiting it. It's one thing when like somebody's walking around with like piercings all over the body and a tongue that's slit and it goes like this. See, that's cringy. They're getting it, but they did that on purpose. It's a whole nother dichotomy when you're making music or expressing yourself and something that you're saying is cringy to somebody. They're like, ooh. But it grabs them. They're like, oh, yeah. You really went there? Oh, that's what you really feel about it? And we're not... See, that's why I think we get, all of us, we get special permissions. We're artists, guys. If we set it on a track, that's it. It's on a track. Don't come at me over what I said on a track. Don't come at me when I'm in my artist mode.
Yeah.
When
there's
I'm,
a lot of special
this is my bag.
Yeah.
You want to communicate with me? The way you communicate with me is probably the same way. Because I'm not going to hear your opinion. This is how I felt. This is what I feel about it. This has nothing to do with you. Even if it's about you. It has nothing to do with you. And most people don't know how to separate that. Especially when you're close with them. You make a song about your girl, your wife, your mom. You throw one little bar in there, they're looking at you like, no food for a week, nigga. Some people take it so personal.
Yeah.
Do you find it hard then to navigate the landscape now?
Yeah, definitely. One thing I'll say is that I don't find that hard so much with my girl. And shout out to her for that. I think she's pretty understanding. Again, I mean, I never put.
She supports everything you do. Did she meet you while you were rapping?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, right? It was like, especially, we met in 2016, and that's like,
You guys are legally married.
Yeah, you're legally married.
she'll get a laugh out of that. Yeah, we are engaged.
Common law marriage.
Oh, you are engaged?
Yeah, we
oh,
just
that's
got
beautiful.
engaged.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Good shit. Good
So
shit.
and so she is really like she'll never come at me. She'll make a joke sometimes if she hears a bar, right? And even that's like a little uncomfortable because you don't really want any critique like that. But nah, she's hella understanding if I make any song about like a relationship dynamic, even if it's about something, I'm not like literally making songs about women before her, but there's like lessons you learn.
It's
in
part of
life.
your story.
Exactly. So I'm still try to tell my story in that way, and she's mad cool about all that. And then I do find that hard with some of my older family in general, which is probably not just me, but they're really supportive, right? They know same thing. Like I've always been open that I do this, and I've been doing it for a really long time. So it's me, and everyone supports it. But I'll get a little more of that, like they're like asking questions about what I'm saying in a song type of thing. And it's never been anything dramatic because I never said anything super dramatic anyway. But again, that puts a little pressure on my shoulder when I'm writing that I hate. You know, that's not their fault, obviously.
It's yours.
Yeah.
You created that demon. You
Yeah,
you created
thanks.
you created that. You created that little guy on your shoulder that while you're writing your shit, he lets you know, should you say that? Should you really say that?
Exactly. Yeah.
And I get it. That's our own worst enemy though. Because honestly, you should.
Yeah.
Honestly, you have to.
Yeah.
And maybe the way you're saying it isn't right. So that's up to us to find out how to say things the right way. But yeah, if you feel it's necessary for that positioning of this piece of music in order to resonate with how you want it, yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing that should take away from that.
Yeah, and there's definitely just a hard thing about another example that this is my own demon that showed up on the shoulder is there is like a hard thing about just telling painful stories through your life that other people were affected by too, even when it's not digging skeletons out the closet, right? It's not like throwing anybody under the bus. It's not shameful, but
It's the truth.
right, and that's the most beautiful art. That's the art that I want to hear. So these are the conversations I've been having with myself lately when I feel that I like that I can kind of visualize this as we talk about it now. But when I feel that little thing on my shoulder, like,
It's a little you, bro.
yeah,
He's a little you. He's just sitting there going, "Hey, you sure? Are you sure? All right, fuck it, let's go."
but it's really important to fight back against that and not to, it's probably important that it's there, right? Like we can't just be totally unfiltered. So
No.
it's good that there's a little filter up there, but I think like, yeah, I've been telling myself lately, like, just take more risks, bro. Like life is short. Like I've been doing this for so long that the music is here forever. Like I will be doing this forever. So it's like, bro, just like, yeah, just tell your real life story to people. People wanna
I
hear
mean,
it.
Rich, and you're, for me in my life, you're the biggest perpetrator of showing who you are and then doing this about it. You do that all the time.
Yeah, you do that.
You say what you gotta say, and you're the biggest person of doing that. And salute to you for doing that.
Facts.
But do you get any backlash in your personal life from anybody you love or care about because you do that? Does anybody ever say anything like, how could you... Look, you just came out of a relationship. Any of the songs that you've made towards her, about her?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I made a great song where we were together, like when I actually thought about wanting to love her and wanting to take things further. And then after everything kind of hated, like the last like 2 months, I was just like angry and pissed. And it was like, you know what? I don't want to bring this energy to her as much as I'll just bring it on the track. And I ended up writing like a 58 bar straight through freestyle of everything that was bothering me. I brought up a lot of...
Yeah, count.
Nah, he was mad honest.
I was just like really mad, but I was in my zone. I found like this like Nas type beat on B starts, and I just went off. I brought up a lot of personal shit. I brought up her friends. I was so mad I brought up her dead brother.
Oof.
That's how mad I was at that time. Like I haven't recorded or anything, and I don't know it's like if it will ever be recorded, but it was just like a moment in time where I was just like so tight. But other than that, like with my mother and my father, my father's like my number one fan.
That's
my
beautiful.
biggest supporter. He's probably been to every single showcase and probably every yo-yo contest
Wow.
all over the world with me,
Beautiful.
just to support me. Like we were like one of the biggest things he's ever done for me was like I had a few shows out in Paris, but I had like a mishap going to Paris where all the shows got canceled the day before I was supposed to fly out.
Of course.
And he knows for that reason why. But my dad was like, "Look, let's just make the best of it, man. Like you're in Paris, in France. Let's just make the most of it." And we ended up just pretty much becoming tourists.
Nice.
We ended up like going to Eiffel Tower. We ended up eating out like all these little restaurants, trying fast food over there for the first time. Grocery shopping, we were at this nice Marriott hotel where we had like our own rooms with 2 beds in each one. So it's like you had your own room with a bathroom and 2 beds. I had my own room with a bathroom and 2 beds. It was super duper fun.
Yeah,
We
awesome.
we tried to go to Disneyland Paris, but it didn't like really work out. I don't know why we didn't end up going there, but you know, it was like that experience with my father. It's like I know, like he'll give my dad's my biggest critic too. He'll tell me something's trash. He'll tell me something's like,
That's what you need.
I'm not feeling that. Like you want people to tell you,
Yeah,
even
of
from the
course.
people you love. Like I know my dad's not gonna lie. He'll tell me like, hey, like even when I do like a great set, like a good showcase, like where I got the songs hitting, the crowds mess with it, everything. He'll be like, you could have done this a little bit better. I could get all the love from everybody around. I'm like, yo, that was a great
Damn,
set. Oh, it was fire, bro. Yo, what's your IG? Yo, can I get a yo, everything. But then like from him, it'll be like, yeah, you know, that I didn't really like that part you did there. Maybe you could do this song instead. It's like, but the crowd loved it, man. And it's like I know, but you could do this and that. It's like a battle with him, only with him. My mom supports, but she's like, you know, with your mom is like,
Yeah.
oh, this
Everything-
rap thing is so cute.
Yeah, everything you do is perfect in mom's eyes.
Everything in mom's eyes is like, oh, beautiful, gorgeous, whatever.
So did she? Did your ex know that you wrote that?
No,
Okay.
she still doesn't to this
Okay.
day.
I mean, it might be bad.
Like it's we kind of broke it off in November, and like since like November, I could tell there's a sense on her end that she wants us to be back together, and so but it's like one of those things she just keeps dragging. Like, hey, let's meet up this weekend. All right, weekend comes around. Oh, something came. Let's do it for next weekend, and then the next weekend. I was like, it's been November. If you really wanted to like talk things out and work things out, you would do it much sooner.
Why not? Why not cut it off though?
Why not cut it off?
Like, why not? Why not? Like, and this is the scumbag in me, right? Because no, because the truth. I've been like, this is what girls do to me. They just cut you off. No more fucking with them. No more rap. No more. That's it. So why don't you cut it off? What reason? You still miss her?
Like a part of me still does, but at the same
Don't lie to
time,
me.
no, a part of me still does. I'm being honest, but at the same time, it's like I felt like there was like a lot of things that were unsaid that things that I said on the track about what the problems were. I still want to say it to her face in some way. Even though I don't have to, I don't owe her nothing. I don't have to say nothing. I could just move on with
It's
my
showing
life.
you care though.
It's I said I still
like
care. I
it's
still
showing you
care.
like it's showing you like you still genuinely
It's like
care.
I still want to say something
That's
to
nice
her.
though. That's sweet though, because I honestly over the past couple 3 weeks, 4 weeks that all this shit's been occurring. I've been thinking this nigga like don't give a fuck. But that's nice to see. Yeah, that you actually miss her.
Like I do.
I'm gonna clip this for you.
Yeah. Okay. Look.
Yo, can I just say though, this is the ultimate embodiment of like what Gil was just saying that Rich does so well. Like that you just weren't afraid to just like, yeah, this is the update on how I'm feeling.
Oh no,
about,
this is
like,
why
where
this is why I
I'm
love him though.
Like, damn, bro, that
He's
alone-
something for people to idolize because whether he does it on purpose or not, whether it is really him or not, or his mental issues that he claims he has, whatever he says, right? Whether the fact is he does it for people to witness it and hear it. Like it's on a pot. We can't get rid of this, you know. Like he's saying straight up how he feels,
Facts.
you know, and that's honesty. Like hell yeah, the shit. You drove the car into the wall. I'm still trying to fix the flat though. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's saying. Like, you drove the car on the wall, but I'm still over here trying. You in the car not even giving me the jack. I'm like, yo, pass me the jack, bitch. You won't even come outside. You over there, no, I'm gonna just chill on my phone. Pass me that. I'm trying to fix the flash so we can drive. That's what you're expressing, you know, and that's what's real about
Yeah,
you.
and you actually just personified it very well because that was most of the issue. I'm trying to get us the fuck out of here, and you just sitting in the car, on your phone. Like, help me out. You want to get out of here? Let's go.
No, she wants you
I
to
can't
get
do
us
this
out of here.
alone.
Get us out of here.
Get it?
That's what she wants. She wants you to get us out of here.
I was like, you know what? Get out the car. I'll fix it myself and leave you on the road then.
And that's what he did, though.
That's exactly what I did. he knows. That's exactly what. Because the whole issue was, and I know I this is my first like I'm having like a whole session now.
Yeah, we're in intervention.
We're having a little
It's
intervention
his
with myself.
interview, but fuck
It's
it.
his interview.
It
but,
brought us here.
Yeah, look, we can continue. I don't want to get too personal. Man.
No,
I'll be
I didn't.
good.
I didn't get to bring this up in the interview yet, but I'm by trade. I'm a therapist now, so this is actually really funny.
Wait, you just got your
Yeah. So I'm a social worker. I got my license, clinical social work. Thank you. So hip hop is always where the soul is. But one thing I learned while being an
There's no
adult, right?
freaking hypocrisy there. Being like a hip hop artist and being a therapist.
Well, same thing, right? I feel the little thing on my shoulder about what I'm supposed to say and not say. But no, I mean, I think that's a field that when I entered it, I learned like I've been pretty accepted for who I am, and that's really cool. And that might not be the same in every place, but the places I've gone, even within that field of professionalism, like yeah, people like it. I mean, and it's weird because people will listen. Like I've had at the last job I had, like all the supervisors I had would like actually not religiously, but they would listen to my music. So
Like him, he gets that shit too.
yeah. And they knew like I would curse, I would say things about sex, I would talk about smoking weed, like whatever. But again, I think like nothing that I say in my music. And my bad that this just derailed us now. From the whole thing.
Go,
But nothing,
man, go off.
nothing that I say in my music is actually like I hold my values high, and I try to embody that in my music too, right? That like I try to kind of be this middle ground of like a real person that I want to curse, I want to talk about something like smoking weed or like, things that make sense that you're human and like we have vices and whatever
course,
and
yeah.
feelings and emotions
Yep.
and rawness. But yeah, even in my music, right, I don't like belittle people. I don't, the same values I would hold day to day, I still hold in the music. I just might be a little more like cursing and fun having and whatever. But, so what I was saying is it is really funny that, I wouldn't be surprised if part of my interview turned into therapy session.
No, well,
And I've really been enjoying
should
being
carry
a
that.
therapist. I like that.
you
yeah.
should carry that. It's one thing. Back in the days, we always had that friend, and people be like, "Yeah, you should be a therapist when you get older." That that one dude or that one girl that just they had the knowledge. They always had some good shit to say to you. Yeah, it's a totally different thing when you got a license for it.
Yeah.
You went to school, you put in the work. You can legally on paper state something any information you're giving to somebody comes from a place of you did homework and you went to schooling to get it.
Facts. Yeah. Thanks for saying that. Bro, 'cause
It's
that is
the
true.
truth.
Yeah.
That's hard because like you're putting in the work and other people are thinking about doing it and you're actually doing it.
Do people and I know we left the question I asked you, but do people is there a yo-yo school? I'm being stupid, but I'm asking you a serious fucking question. Is there a school that people teach people how to yo-yo?
That's mostly like in Asia. They don't have it in the United States.
Oh, so they do have it.
They do have it. It's just like more in Asian countries they have those types of schools. Mostly it's like after school programs, not like actual like 8 hour wake up, sleep, breathe yo-yos. But a lot of specifically Asians take it like seriously. Like it becomes so ingrained in their lives that it's like one of those things where if you get like A plus is never good enough. Like you could do the most amazing.
That's Asian
profound
culture
trick.
though.
They like.
I got
they'll
a
start
Chinese
break-
stepfather, bro. I used to come home with 95s, and he would say, "It's not a 99," and walk away from me. Yo, walk away from me. Discouraged. It's not a 99. Walk away from me. I sit there like, fuck do I do? I gotta go get a 99.
Go get a 99. I've known world yo-yo champions. They did amazing freestyles. Got first place in the world, and they ended up breaking down under the chair crying because they felt like they left it all. Like all their emotions are out on the stage, and then when they get off and that high like starts coming down from the stage, it's like it's just like breaking it down. Maybe it wasn't good enough. I don't. Maybe I should have did this trick. Or the crowd's like they're clapping too loud, but they could have clapped louder. And then just like under the table, literally breaking down. Like they just saw a dead body or they saw somebody getting shot.
I won't lie though. Sometimes, you know what that is too, because I see that with UFC fighters. You never cried after a performance?
No,
I,
if anything, I've been very happy after.
I ain't say lately. I'm saying in general. You never cried.
In general, after yo-yoing performance, no,
No, even rapping. After performing, you never like went to the back and fucking cried.
no.
I've cried. I've cried because the performance was so meaningful. It didn't have nothing to do with how good it was.
I
It
usually
just
get
meant
sad if
so much.
like you see this like before. If I know I give a shitty performance, I be usually sad. I become like mute.
Yeah.
I'll be like quiet, like damn, I messed up, and then
You let it bother you a little bit.
It
too
bothers
much.
me for the night, and it's like
Are you hard on yourself?
Yeah.
Especially now as a therapist, do you find yourself to be harder on yourself?
Yeah, even though as a therapist, I think that's the thing that's trying to get me to understand, right? Because so much of what I talk to people about is not being hard on yourself. So, like, I think being a therapist is getting me
Fucking
to.
therapists are all hypocrites.
Yeah, exactly.
Therapists need therapists.
Literally, that is the thing. And yeah, like, so, but it is getting me to rethink that, like, of the importance of not being so hard on yourself. But yeah, I'm terrible with it, and that's something like my girl would say. She points it out a lot. Like, I'm a really, it's not even like a sore loser.
Self-critical?
Yeah, just self-critical. And the show thing feels so real. Like, yeah, I will be so angry if I mess something up, or it's like, I don't know, I've done like live ciphers before, stuff like that too. Like,
When you
where,
stumble over a couple bars,
yeah,
you be like,
and I'm
"Grr."
so mad at myself because I know, and part of it too is because, like, I know I'm good, so I get so angry, and it's like, now you didn't even get to see what it really was supposed to be, like,
Mhm.
but, and so part of that obviously pushes me to be better, but yeah, I've had a lot of moments where I'm like, yo, this is like over the line emotional about, like, a little fuck up, like, and it's like, bro,
Yeah, you know what the worst part about it too? Um, Knowing that you can't get it back.
yeah,
Your son, it's only 5 to 15 minutes. We're on a set. You know, you ain't getting that back. You ain't getting that fuck up back. You ain't getting that stumble back. You ain't getting that word back. You ain't getting your lyrics back. You ain't getting none of that back. And that's the shit that impacts the most at the end of the sets.
yeah,
You know, see, me personally, I've cried at the end of sets where I've given a lot. When I give a lot, and then I don't feel bad about it that I cry. I don't feel bad because like I said, I see UFC fighters, bro. Like Jamal Hill just beat Glover Teixeira for the light heavyweight championship at 205 pounds, and when he won the belt, bro, he fucking broke down and just cried. He looked at, yo, it took his coaches like 10 minutes and one of them to slap him in the back of the head. Like, yo, we're on TV. We're on pay-per-view. Get the fuck up. And then he got up. He was like, but yo, he couldn't help it. You work all that time. You put all that effort in. And this is your moment to shine. And you don't only shine, the sun is sitting there looking like it needs glasses. That's how bright you shine. You feel me? Like that shit right there, that's what gets me when I have those
yeah.
performances. When I have those performances, because I know I left it all out there. I ain't got nothing left right now.
Yeah, like, I don't know if I can't recall if I've ever actually cried, but that concept makes a lot of sense to me because, like, it's such heavy emotion of every step of it, whether it's the UFC fight or the performance or whatever else. Like, exactly like you said, you're training so hard, so you're building yourself up. It's like months, days, years, whatever, of, like, being in your head about it. You're in front of so many people. That's an insane amount of pressure. You're in your head about your own pressure. And even if you do great, it's just that the emotional experience, the ups and downs. Sometimes your body just reacts. And, like, sometimes you just cry for weird reasons.
And the
too.
fucked
Like,
up shit about it is that, they're only going to remember if that performance was trash and you fucked up and you fell off the stage. When you have the epic performance, ask any of those people that were in that room that day 2 years later if they remembered you. Or they remembered that night.
Damn, that's kind of sad to think about.
They don't. It's just like watching, like, we got certain movies that stick to our brain, certain actors, certain songs, certain things that stick to our brain. Here. But there's other ones that when they come back on, you're like, oh shit, this was my shit. Why didn't I put that in? It's the same thing. As an entertainer, as a performer, you're only as good as that performance. You're only as good as that performance you give. And the problem is, the only things that are epic to people aren't the ones that are fucking up here. That's only epic to you. That's how you know it's your best performance. But the ones that you fuck up, and that's what they'll remember you for. Most people will remember when you stumbled over the bar. Or when you told the DJ, bring it back 6 times. Most people will remember when you fell off the stage. Most people will remember when you was arguing with a fan because they wouldn't shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Most people will remember that, but they won't remember that you had an epic performance. You didn't miss one bar, that you sat there, you were sweating balls. You went down to your tank top. You were sitting there in somebody's face. Nah, they won't remember that shit.
I feel like I have, like, one or two that I remember as I mean, your point is true because I remember a lot of bad performances.
We remember our
But-
bads.
But I'll give, and I can only, I guess, really, no, I can think of two. One that I always reference is Mac Miller, because I wasn't that big of. I went to a festival this time, and I saw
Rest
him a
in
couple
peace.
times. Yeah, rest in peace. I saw him a couple times, and they were all when I was younger. And when I went, I knew who he was. I knew a little bit of his music. I wasn't necessarily going for him, but it was cool. And but I remember he like played the guitar over the back of his head, and I was like,
Jimi Hendrix shit.
yeah, and I was like, damn, bro, this is Mac Miller doing this. This is kind of crazy. And the rest of the set was really crazy. So that's like one I remember actually to this day holding like that was a really good performance. And the only other one I can think of is Vince Staples. And the only reason
Vinny's a goat though.
yeah, he is a goat.
He's a young goat.
And the only reason I remember that is probably because I didn't know him. So it convinced me to I think it was Joey Badass that was actually playing. So shout out to both of them.
I hope Joey can come out of his little thing though.
Yeah, me too.
Joey, just like we had that convo about that dude. Dax.
Yeah, Dax.
Oh yeah, I know him.
They're in these little
know of
bubbles where they can't pop.
You think that's true for? Well, yeah, that might be.
Come
true
on,
for
Joey. Come on,
Yeah.
Joey. I've heard Joey for the past 6 years on mad mixtapes, features, his own shit. And then I'm being naive. What the fuck is popping?
Yeah,
These niggas are making 300, 400 grand a year. What the fuck is popping,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because I mean, well, yeah, because I don't know. Can Joey's style go that much further? I don't know. I don't know if it's meant to, but yeah, I do. I feel you because I do feel like
That's why
since
50. Look what 50
1999,
did though.
He's yeah.
50 style couldn't last forever, so he started doing shows and writing scripts. See, Joey's style may not last forever, but
And Joey is. I mean, Joey's in. Is it Power that he was in or Snowfall? One of them?
one of the two. Yeah, Snowfall
Joey,
probably.
I think Joey was Power. I think
Power?
It was Power.
Yeah, I feel bad for mixing those two shows up, but
Do you
yeah.
blame? Fuck. Yeah, it gets me weirded out sometimes. The shows that are on TV, they're all the fucking
are
same
all
with
the
this
same.
drug dealer shit. The fucking same shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's annoying, man. Like, I don't even like Dexter like that. Yeah, it's annoying. It's all the same shit.
Yeah, but I was impressed when I saw Joey acting because I didn't even realize that before I watched whichever show that was. And yeah, man. So hopefully you might be right. Like 50 is a good example because 50 now. I mean, if I think about him, he's a mogul, and I think he certainly broke through He kept going.
Oh yeah,
But you're right. It's not from his music. I mean, some of it is, but yeah,
the music was
he
the
had-
foot in the door.
Yeah, and then he had to really match.
Look at
that.
Mark Wahlberg.
True.
Remember? Mark.
Yeah.
Marky Mark.
Good vibration.
Yeah.
What was the song? What was the song?
Good vibration.
It's the vibration.
Yeah.
It's the vibration. It's a good vibration. Yeah.
Yeah, and he has brother with New Kids on the Block, Donnie Wahlberg.
Even Eddie.
Yeah.
Look at Eddie. Eddie Murphy. What was Eddie Murphy's song?
Party all the
girl
time.
wants to party all the time. Party all the time.
Wait,
party
Eddie
all-
Murphy?
Yeah, that was Eddie Murphy.
That's Eddie,
Why
baby.
did I not know that?
My girl wants to.
You know who
party
wrote it?
all the
Rick
time,
James.
Party all the time.
See,
Party
I
all the
believe
time.
that. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yo, that's crazy, right? And that's all he
Wow.
says throughout the whole song.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yo, that's
It's
great.
part of Charlie Murphy was like, what
But that's
does
my
this
point
nigga
of
doing?
sometimes like where you think we reach so high, but where sometimes we don't expect where we fall. You know, you reach for the moon, you reach for the sun, you reach for the stars, you know, you reach for space, but you might just fall on a cloud. You don't know where you fall. You know, we reach for certain things, and it's fortunate and unfortunate because is that guy really truly happy from being like a multimillionaire off of signing an artist? Or is he sitting there in the back of his brain like, that should be me?
Yeah, I've thought about that. Like, I don't know if I could be happy. I mean, and don't get me wrong. If it was the difference between providing for your family and not, of course.
Of course.
But
Egotistically and just hating to fall short.
Don't be a hater. Like, I'll give you
I ain't gonna hate on him. I'm gonna hate the fact that it's not me. It's not hating on him though.
That's-
I'm gonna boost him up. He's bringing me money. We're getting billions.
I-
But I'm still gonna be mad.
I'll give you an example. There's a yo-yo I know, very well known, very popular. I think he has like 112,000 followers. He's a world champion. He does the craziest tricks on the planet. He just got verified on Instagram yesterday. I got hit up by like 4 people saying like, "Yo, where's your verification and stuff? Like trying to not.
Really, haters?
Yeah.
Wow. Why people gotta like fuel
Yo,
the
they would
fire
DM
that
you
you don't
that?
even have.
Yes.
Yo, bro.
That's next level.
And I'm like, dude, it's like go when you gonna get your
I
how
make
this
a-
guy got it before you? I'm just like first of all, this motherfucker's content is incredible. Second, he's a world champion. Third, he's part of one of the biggest yo-yo teams on the planet.
Why you even? You shouldn't even be explaining.
No, I didn't say that to them, but that's what I'm thinking in my head.
Here. Yeah, about to say, don't even explain to these niggas, yo. Like, what you?
I deleted the messages because I don't want to see that shit.
Nah, yo, haters,
Let them on scene.
DM me. I'll make you famous. Like, yo, you kidding me? I'd have made him famous. I'd have screenshotted all that shit and posted all of them into a song, a real sad one. A real sad one. Like, all y'all feel this way? Then go find something else to do with yourselves. And I would have left their names in it. And here, you're getting doxxed on Instagram. Here.
You're gonna dox motherfuckers, damn.
Well, you're only truly doxing them when you put their address. You're not doxing them when you just repost their name. Like, straight up, if somebody has something to say to me or a conversation, call me. Because the chances I'm not recording it are like 50-50. But the chances I'm not going to screenshot it and repost it,
100 to 0.
oh, 100%. I'm posting your bullshit. I don't give a fuck. I got played by a smoke shop. Told you, a smoke shop. I went in there. I got a joint. 2 hours later, I went to smoke it. That shit flew out. So I went back to the smoke shop. I went back after my day of work. Get there. I said, yo, this happened earlier. You served me. Remember me? She's like, yeah, I remember you. So a guy comes out and he goes, what do you want me to do about it?
Oh, so you already knew.
I said, what you mean what I want you to do about it? I said, you got a couple options. I told him straight up, you got a couple options. Give me my money back. Give me another pre-roll. Or I just leave. Shrugs his shoulders and continues to take care of another customer. I walk out. While I'm driving on the Cross Island, I go on my fucking story. And I tag the smoke shop. I put the little sad face emoji. And I put a whole story like, don't ever go to this smoke shop on Bell Boulevard. Because this dude is hard. They gave me horrible service. This is what happened. Yo, half an hour later, the owner of the shop hit me up. Like right now, shout out to you, Sean. Right now, I could still go there to Bell Boulevard. He's going to hook me up.
Hey.
Because the owner was like, yo, bro, my bad. I was like, how much do you like money? I asked him straight up, how much do you like money? He said, that's why I'm in business. I said, so fire him. Like that's not the way you treat customers. I'm in customer service. You don't treat people like that. If you let's call a spade a spade. If your service ain't good, then you got to take it back.
Over a pre-roll too. It's like
Over a pre-roll, his attitude was, and I'm
$dollars.
I'm a dick, bro. I'm a huge dick. I looked at him, I was just like, you know what? I know how to hurt people more now. Where you hurt people more is when you give a personification of who they are on the fucking internet. Why do you think the smartest people aren't on the internet? Yeah. They don't look at it. They don't care about the comments. They don't care about what you say. They don't care about what you post. Nothing. They give no acknowledgement. But the fact that I had something to post on my stories and he hit me up, and I get free weed whenever I go there, that says something. That means where I'm at in life reached where he's at in his life. And he had to do something to make that situation better for him because it wasn't going to be good for him. When a person with 2,000 followers puts a post out stating your weed and your business is trash, I got to fix this. You think Dave Chappelle would have hit me up and been like, Gil, I'm sorry you felt that way about coming to my concert. I'll never talk that way again. You think no, they wouldn't have. And that's why I noticed like people, it's all about levels. Smartest people though, they put themselves where they want to be. Why do you think these people on the internet get so far talking shit about people? Because the way they're talking shit about people or a situation, like I'm sorry, you call a spade. You know, Academics is a bootleg news broadcaster. He's bootleg. Didn't go to school, didn't have to, none of this bullshit. I speak what I see, and I see what I speak. It's bootleg. Nothing behind it. You know, like
it's
even
not complicated either.
It's not complicated at all.
Simple setup he has.
It's the resignation. It's how you can get to people. It's how people, and we'll never know what hits. We'll never know what hits. You know, that's the reality, right? How many times you go, I've been doing this 15 years. And then all of a sudden on the 18th year, man, damn, it took 18 years of work to do it. Yeah, it took 18 years of work to do it. That's the fact. We'll never know what hits. You know, and that's why, like I said it before, we live in the best time that we could ever imagine right now.
Yeah, I believe that.
We live in the best time we could ever imagine right now. Because we can't imagine living in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Nope.
We can't imagine living in the 1700s, 1500s. We can't imagine where our fucking genes come from. You're Dominican and black, my nigga. That shit comes from island people and people enslaved. I'm Puerto Rican.
I'm Puerto
My
Rican too.
Oh, you Puerto Rican too?
I was gonna call it.
You know,
Like,
so you know where Puerto Rican comes from too, though? Nigga, we ain't, nigga,
Everywhere.
the only reason we're called Puerto Ricans, rich port. Puerto Ricans, rich port. We're actually Tainos. That's how fucked up it is. That we're not even really, we're actually Tainos. You know, it's shameful, but at the same time, it's the God's honest truth. All this shit is kind of like, it's needed to mesh. It's needed to mesh because you never know what's going to hit. Come on, did they think of Rich Pryor would hit even after the dude lights himself on fire?
Sidebar about that.
Do you think a Lizzo would hit?
Sidebar about the
The
Richard
bitch
Pryor.
needs a bagel.
Sidebar about the Richard Pryor. I actually copped a vinyl of his at this Village Record store
No, you didn't.
downtown. Yes, I did.
You have one?
Yes, I do. It's
It's
upstairs.
upstairs?
Yeah, it's called
Frame that bitch.
Bicentennial Nigga.
Oh, nigga, that's the one.
Bicentennial.
Bicentennial niggas. Yo, frame that. Wow, wow, you should have got two. They didn't have to though, right?
They had another Richard Pryor called Craps.
Nah, Bicentennial nigga was the one that got him famous. Bicentennial nigga.
This is pre Richard Pryor before he like really blew up.
Yeah, man. Like, and again, you'll never know what it hit. A person like Rich told his story. He told his story about how his mom or his grandma was his grandma was a madam, father was a pimp, mom was a whore. And he told this story about how people come and go and it hit. Who would ever think that would hit? And that's why, like, us as artists, I know that our job is, we got one job. Just keep bringing out content. We got one job. One job. All the other stuff, yeah, figure it out. Pay for somebody to do your videos. Go to the right venues to perform at. Open up for the right people. But your job is to consistently be creating like that fucking monkey that we said earlier, right? This is all of us as artists. We're slaves to this job, whether we make money or not, until we choose not to be. But for the sad day that you put the microphone down and you stop rapping, you really got to look in the mirror and ask yourself who you are. Because imagine you don't yo-yo no more.
Yeah.
My nigga, what if
My purpose is gone.
what if the Doctor Strange thing happens to you? And you fucking lose and you're like this and shit.
That's like my worst fear. Like I think like one day like if I lose an arm in a crash or I just fall wrong and
Nah, you're gonna yo-yos with your toes. We're gonna figure this out, bro.
yo-yo with my nub like this, one giant finger tricks.
Yeah, I've thought about that though. Like, God forbid, like the one, because I always feel like rapping, especially, is like something that there aren't a lot of circumstances where I'd be in that, but there could be a few, right? You could lose your voice, you could lose your ability.
You get
to
shot
write.
in the face like 50.
Yeah, you get shot in the face, exactly. You could get brain damage, like. So,
Has
yeah.
anything ever happened to you? Like physically, like a fall off a bike, broken bone,
Yo,
anything that put you out of commission for years,
Not for years, nah.
or a moment in time?
But it's funny that you asked that because this past year something happened to me, where I was hit by a car.
Yo, son, we on the anniversary. Me too. January 27th, 2022. I was hit by a car.
Hey, mine's May 3rd. Yeah. So mine,
The things people celebrate.
most of my, I didn't get too much damage, but I did. I got hit head on, and I kind of jumped out the way, and my foot got ran over, which was like
How
most of the
fast?
damage. It I don't know. It was probably I really.
So
don't
he
know,
didn't
but-
hit you. He ran over your foot.
No, he hit me, but I so basically I kind of like rolled off the hood of the car, like I was trying to jump out.
Did the
way.
Matrix.
Yeah. So I kind of hit like the corner probably of the car, And then I didn't realize that my foot was run over, but it was like when I tried to stand up, all the pain was in my foot, and my shoe had gone. It was in a parking lot. My shoe was like had flown
That
across
shit
the
said.
parking
That shit
lot.
said. Que no, papi.
Um,
No, que no, papi. No, no, no. Siente ahí. Quede ahí. No, no mueve.
Yeah, so I was out of commission for a couple months, and that's like an example of something.
What you broke in your foot? I'm
Yo,
curious.
what's crazy is nothing was broken. But
That motherfucker's resilient. The little cap
Yeah.
right here
yeah, it's
is
crazy.
resilient, bro.
But I still got damaged from it, and I was on crutches for a little bit, and then I was like kind of not really able to normally walk for maybe like it took me like maybe 2 months to get back to like normal living, and then now it's been like 9 months, and I still
You
got
walk
damage.
bow-legged or anything like that?
Nah, but luckily I'm mostly cool now. I just started going back to the gym, which is like cool. I've had different periods of my life where I was better about fitness, but now that's an interesting thing
That was
that's
really good. That was a really good way to put that.
there's so now like that's kind of the struggle is I can't run currently still because of the damage. Like it just really hurts. So
Even with it wrapped.
I don't know, actually. That's a good idea. I
Even
haven't
with it,
tried
because if you
to-
have no broken bones, you're feeling. And I'm not a doctor, but I've had 4 surgeries in the past year due to my accident. And before that, broken ankle, broken tendon. I'm a mess. I run into walls and shit. And one thing I did notice, if nothing's broken in your foot,
that is what they told me.
you
Yep.
then you throw a wrap on that bitch and you'll be able to run, because what happens is I guess when we're hit or something happens, our body ain't the same. It's like a car, right? So
Yeah.
now our body needs to learn how to stay together.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you wrap it, you might be able to get on your running.
Yeah, you are right. That's a good idea. And I've just been trying to, in the meantime, like kind of build up my tolerance to running again. So like now I'm not even at a run when I do the treadmill. Now I'm at like 3.9, which is like the most I can like walk before I'm running. And yeah, so now like the last few days I've been like I'll try to run for like a few minutes or whatever. So yeah, that accident I haven't gotten to. That's so funny because even on the way here, I was thinking like, "There's no way this is gonna come up," but this is like the story that one of the stories that happened to me this year that's like worth telling.
You know, this is called "What's Up, Everybody" pod.
Right?
You know, when we bring a guest, it's so we can tell everybody what's up with the guest on the pod. Like,
Yeah, man. So yeah, that definitely was like a thing this past year that really set me back. Obviously, that was as you know.
how long were you out of commission?
Again, like I think like 2 months is when I was like really out. Like, so it happened at my job too. So I was on workers' comp and I had stayed home for a bit. So there was like 2 months where I like couldn't normally, like I stayed out of work because I just couldn't really function too well. But yeah,
Physical therapy
yep, was
every
doing
day, 3 times a week, some shit like
yeah,
that.
like 3 times a week or something. It should have been every day, but you know how it works. Like you get what you get. But yeah, that helped a lot. And then now again, you know, I'm just trying to like I'm out of formal physical therapy now, so now I'm just trying to like do my own therapy to keep it going.
Well, that's what you got to do. Like one thing I do appreciate the physical therapists and doctors that's been taking care of me and giving me all these things. You pushed? Are you good, right? All right. Yeah.
I might only have a few.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah. I do appreciate how they take care of you. What does suck is that if it wasn't for the lawsuit, if it wasn't for the lawyers and the insurance and all this shit, our jobs, then we wouldn't be taken care of. A normal person that just goes through this, something happens to them, even a hit and run.
Yeah.
You know, imagine you get it. Look, my girl got hit by a car. The car left. No license plates, no nothing. It like they got a camera footage. It got no plates. There's nobody to sue. There's nobody to argue with.
you're
There's
right,
nobody
though.
to have there. You know, so it's like you're lucky. We're lucky that we get taken care of, but at the same time, I feel bad for those people that can't. Like, and no cap, I got mad shit wrong with me, and I'm not going back to being 100% me until it's fixed. I hope you took the same route. Like, yo, make sure you're 125% better than you were before it happened, because you would have been this way if it didn't happen.
Facts.
That took away time. That took away stress. That took away so much shit in your life that
Right.
I take advantage. Yo, I go to physical therapy 4 times a week.
Yeah.
I go to the chiropractor 1 time a week.
Right.
I see my doctor twice a month because I know I'm not sleeping good. My hip hurts. Like and then I gotta tear. Like I know these things are wrong with me. So until they tell me I ran out of money,
Yeah. No.
I'm gonna tell you guys straight up. You gonna fix me?
Yeah. The only reason I basically stopped with the workers' comp stuff is just because I moved. Which I could still
Yeah,
fight for a
you can
little
still.
more.
You of course.
Yeah, I can still get back in PT. But again, I think they gave me a pretty good understanding of what I can do for my foot in PT. I was there for a while, so but I totally agree in principle. Of course, like you are right. Both things you said are true. You are right. Had I not been at my job, it actually would have been even more stressful. And yeah, like you kind of gotta take everything because yeah, like it shouldn't have happened in the first place. So
No, I
like,
shouldn't have. Exactly.
was asking
You know,
for it.
that 1 year takes off 3.
Yep.
Before I leave, 2 things I want to tell you. Your glasses are fly.
Yo, thank you, bro.
Yo, those I'm like, damn, them shit. Yo, what are they?
Damn, I don't. They're nothing special too. I think I got them on.
The frames are dope.
Yeah,
though.
I think
frames.
it's Zenny. Shout out to
Like
Zenny.
I don't be
It's,
liking.
it's,
I don't be liking like the Harry Potter look that everybody be wanting to have nowadays. Like,
Right.
Big
and I love you,
circle
physics.
ones.
But like niggas want to have the fucking circle
Yeah.
shits like everybody's John Lennon and shit.
Yeah.
Like yo, y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta.
Yes.
The shit don't look fly.
Yeah,
But dumb shits, the cradle,
Thank
cradle
you, bro.
jump off.
Yeah, thank you for Yeah, see, these are perfect because that's exactly how I felt because they were like kind of that style, but I could never do those big circles either. Like it just doesn't look natural on my face. But yeah, I found these Alpha Zenny, which is just one of those like cheaper. You get your prescription, then you order the glasses online.
And the prescription. So
Yeah.
I mean, don't
Yeah.
forget that at least
Yeah.
they did the work to put them in.
Shout out to Zenny, man. I'm gonna get glasses on there again.
Second
Sponsor
question.
us. Sponsor us.
Where they find you, what to look for in this 2023, because it's the year of the Jordan, right?
Yep,
And
yep.
what's next?
Absolutely. So again, if you're just tuning in, my name is Internal Rhyme. You can find me on any platform, including all music platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, etc. I'm on all social medias. And basically, what's coming next is a couple of things. I'm gonna keep. I love the top of the year. So I just dropped a new song. It's called Reset.
Talk to him.
And the theme of that song is what I was about to say right now, which is the theme of the song was what I was feeling, which is like, yo, it's the top of the year. Everyone's kind of in the same mindset we all get in of like,
Talk to
all
him.
right, we're going to take a step back and what's the next year look like? And, obviously we all feel it's cliche at some point, but the reality is what I realize is like there's something beautiful about that, of why we all love that, right? And it's because like, we like, especially when we've been in it for years, like, we like to game plan and step back and see what's working and what's not. So I just did that for 2023, tried to look at what's coming next. And basically, the goals are a single every month. I want to put out. That's been a goal for a
That's
couple
12
of
for the
years.
year.
Yep. That's been a goal for like the last 3 years, and I'm close. It's got me a lot more. It was definitely a shoot for the moon or aim for the stars, land on the moon, whatever.
Talk to him.
But now this year, I want to make it the year I do it, that every month has some new drop, and I want to do an album this year, which I haven't done in a couple years now, because I went back to singles. That is a lot of the market, but as I'm sure you guys would feel like, I guess over the last few months was like, yo, bro, I really want albums from artists sometimes. Because there's just a lot you can get out of that.
Yeah, and yourself, you probably got a peace of mind that you want to put in placement.
Exactly. And
Singles don't do it.
Exactly. And albums I've done in the past have been great, but they've all been still just basically compilations that fit together. And like for a while I've been like, yo, I want to make an album start to finish, like I'm writing a book, like really have it one concept that I just create something.
And that's our book.
So exactly. So that's my goal, is for the summer to put an album out, and until then a song every month. And like I said, just dropped a song, I think that was 2 weeks ago now. It's called Reset. It's out on all platforms. And yeah, man, just trying to keep growing. I really want to keep doing more podcasts again, which is why I was so grateful. It was perfect timing that Rich I had seen was looking for a couple new guests. And yeah, man, like this type of thing is amazing. So while I'm saying that, just want to take that moment to shout out to Rich and Gil and the What's Up podcast. This has been a really, really welcoming environment. And, I know I got to meet Rich a couple years ago and we hit it off immediately, but to get to be here and have a real conversation, It's been really dope, man. So yeah,
Oh,
gotta keep
yeah.
doing some of these.
Fucking talking about.
Well, it's not
Go ahead,
talking
beautiful. You can walk us out.
about- I think you already walked us out. Like
You can still walk it. We need the Rich. You bring us in. Rich, you bring us out. This is what Rich does. Go.
Well,
You
thank you.
guys said, there you go. They like the thank you part. I like the thank you part.
Thank you for everybody watching. Please like and subscribe. Appreciate you, Internal Rap, for coming. You know, amazing creative talent. You know, this is not gonna be the last time.
Definitely not.
Definitely gonna be got something brewing. Like anything you guys showcases. If you're ever in New York, if you got anything in Philly, like let's link up.
Absolutely.
You know, it's always love here. You know, of course, it's me, Richard Picasso. That's G. Ada character.
Hey,
Peace,
yo.
love, and yo-yos to you all.